So y'all see now, I don't hardly use it unless it's a Wednesday night. But anyway, little vanilla up in there, up in there, up in there. So now we're moving on. We are ready for what y'all know about her ass. Lord, and I was hoping I could show y'all the image, but the way that YouTube just kicked my ass off a minute ago, we won't be able to do that. But let me just go ahead and put this up so you can at least see this shit right here. What you know about this shit right here? What you know about her ass? Have you heard about Paula White and her Pastor Paula White and her, oh Lord, her prayer and request for the African angels. Did y'all hear about that? Please let me know. Let me know what y'all know about Paula White. Write it in the text. Let me know if you heard anything about it, or if you saw the video. Type 1. If you didn't hear anything about it, if you not saw the video, please type 2. Tracy said, Pastor Lily White, exactly. You talking about some shit right there. I'm waiting for y'all to let me know. Yes, you've heard about it. One, you've heard about it. Tracy, Amy thought she done woke up now. Okay, 1, you know about her. You've heard about her. 2, you have not. You don't know anything about this. Let me know. Type a 1 or 2 in the chat. This shit right here. All right, let me get my paperwork since I can't show y'all the video. Because YouTube gonna shut me out. So Paula White is a trick. Okay, allegedly. Okay, let me take that back. I shouldn't say that. I probably shouldn't say that. But I did anyway. But I'm gonna take that back. I can't say she's a trick. I ain't never been in her bedroom, so I can't say that. Anyway, I'm gonna say that she is a pastor. I guess she was a pastor, and I know her as being a pastor, and I think she sang, if I remember correctly. Amy, you would know the answer to that, I'm sure. Wasn't she a singer too? Was she doing worship music at one time, or am I just thinking about Vicky Yogi, somebody else that's, Lord have mercy. When we talk about the church gone wild, this is more of that. I didn't name it church going wild, but when you think about it, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. These people, now we're talking about these evangelicals, right? These evangelicals. Paula White is a pastor of a church. And when I was in church on a regular basis, I remember, so I'm talking about at this time, I'm thinking I was probably about 28, 29, maybe around this time. Paula White was on the Chitlin circuit. You hear me? She was on the Chitlin circuit. She was at every black church just about. And I remember hearing people talk about Paula White this, Paula White that. Ooh, Paula could. I believe she was singing and preaching. Amy, let me know. I know she was preaching, but I think she was singing too. Paula White came to our church. Paula White gonna be over soon. So Paula White. And I remember thinking, what the hell is Paula White? Right? Because I kept hearing her name so damn much. It was irritating. Finally, I get a look at Paula White. And Paula White is white. Wouldn't you know? I was thinking, she sure is getting a lot of traction in the black church. Her and that Vicky Yogi. That's a whole nother, we could do a whole show on her and her bullshit that she involved in. But anyway, I'll leave that alone, right? Because she not the subject today. It's Paula White. I heard her name so much that it would make my ears itch. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to hear nothing else about no Paula White. I heard a little bit of her preaching, not a much, but I wasn't impressed. But I wasn't impressed for this reason. I feel like the black community have enough people raping and robbing them, right? And oftentimes from the inside out. And I think it may as well be a type of blasphemy for white folks to come through the black church and rake up money in the black church. Because for one thing, I'm going to say this, that people may not feel too kindly about, but I just feel like this. In terms of spirituality and having a connection with God, I'm not looking for no white person to teach me that. I'm not looking for none of them to teach me that, because I'm not sure that you can. I'm not saying that they may, some of them don't hear from God and some of them don't have a word. I'm not saying that. But some of what I'm feeling, I really don't even have to explain, because truly, the evangelicals and the white church in the U.S., let me just say in the U.S., in the United States of America, are showing the whole world who they really are and what they really believe in and what they really think about black folks. They really are showing it. And Paula White is one of those people. She is the pastor of, let me just read this real quickly and give you some background on her. But let me tell you what she did first. She is supposed to be a, what do you call it? What do you call a person that works in the White House and has the advisor? She's supposed to be the spiritual advisor to Donald Trump, like Donald Trump has a spiritual advisor. And I'm saying that because there is nothing that I see in Donald Trump's behavior that says that he has any kind of connection to the God that I have a connection to, right? He may have one to a God, but it's hard for me to believe that Donald Trump has a connection, any kind of connection to any kind of God that I serve, that I have a relationship. I don't feel like, let me just leave that there. Because the things that I have taught, okay, Amy said she didn't sing, okay. The things that I have been taught about God, the things that I know about God, his makeup and the makeup of God, I'm not even gonna say him, God's makeup, I don't know if it's a he or she, I don't know. But the makeup is of love, right? The kernel is love. And I don't see in any of Donald Trump's behavior anything that has to do with love. The majority of what I see has to do with self-love, but not love, right? Now, moving right along, Paula White, however, is supposed to be the spiritual advisor for Donald Trump. The spiritual advisor, right? So she is praying earlier this week or last week, maybe it was the end of last week. She's praying for Donald Trump, to win the election, right? And so she begins to call on, now listen to this. Now these are white evangelicals, and she works side by side with Donald Trump. She now has my understanding from one of the videos that I watched earlier. From my understanding, she even has moved in. She now works at the White House. And one time she was advising him, coming in and out the White House. But now she's there at the White House. And if you get a good look at her, and you did, and I'll show you another picture soon, she also looks like his type, don't she? She looked to me just like the type of women that you see him with in his pictures and what have you when he was hanging out at the Playboy Ranch and so on and so forth. She looked just like that type, the tricky type, the tricky type. So let me read this article I found about it. Pastor Paula White this is the name, here's an article. Pastor Paula White calls on angels from Africa and South America to bring Trump to victory. Y'all heard what I said. Let me just put this other picture to real quick while I'm doing it. I want y'all to see this one too. Look at that. Do that look like a spiritual advisor to you? Or do it look like a trick? That's a spiritual advisor, y'all. Does that look like a spiritual advisor or a trick? I'm just saying. I ain't saying nothing really. I'm just saying. Right? Tracy said he's on a golf course. He don't see her ever. Look like you see her, Trace, at some point. All right. Let me read this. I'm going to just leave that up there for a minute when I start reading. Mega church pastor and televangelist, COVID hug, right. Mega church pastor and evangelist, Donald Trump, and this is from USA Today, mind you. Paula White Kane, who is spiritual advisor to President Donald Trump, delivered a prayer service Wednesday night in an effort to secure Trump's re-election. During the service, which was streamed on Facebook Live, White Kane called on angelic reinforcement from the continents. Now listen to this, y'all. If y'all haven't seen this video, y'all got to look for it, because I got it to show you, but YouTube ain't going to let me. Listen to this. She called on angelic reinforcement from the continents of Africa and South America. You heard me right. We'll come back to that. Listen to this. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it's done, she said. For angels have ever been dispatched from Africa right now. In the name of Jesus from South America, they're coming. In her prayer, White Cane is also heard speaking in tongues, an occurrence in which a speaker talks in a language they do not know, usually during an intense religious experience. Speaking in tongues has been practiced in multiple Christian denominations as well as other religions. White's video has gone viral since it went online Wednesday night, and many have expressed outrage over her words. God is sending angels from a place Trump called... No, I'm sorry. No, that's wrong. This is Bishop Talbert talking now. He said, God is sending angels from a place Trump called a shithole country to help him get reelected. Bishop Talbert Swan, a pastor, activist, and NAACP chapter, wrote on Twitter, I hear the sounds of victory, he said, which is what she said. He said, consider a hearing aid. She'll be lucky if Stephen Miller doesn't send those angels to ICE detention centers, wrote Ana Navarro Cardenas, political strategist and commentator for CNN, Telemundo, and The View. White Cane also stated that demonic confederacies, listen to this, y'all, are attempting to steal the election from Trump. As of Thursday morning, Joe Biden had 264 electoral votes and Trump 214, according to USA Today. Even before outrage over Wednesday's video, White Cane was a controversial figure in Christian circles because she preaches prosperity theology, a belief that God will reward believers with material wealth if they donate generously to religious causes. Let me read some of these before I go ahead. We said, no, she didn't sing absolutely. Okay, COVID hug. Okay, Ami King Bay said, you know them forced vaccination shots and children forced vaccination shots without a parent's consent is coming. I feel like they coming too, Ami King Bay. I feel like they are too. I feel like it's just a matter of time and it won't be long. That's why we have to prepare, in one way or another to deal with it. Amy Johnson, demonic angels from Africa. Amy said, you show right. If her prayer doesn't manifest, she's fired. She'd be fired anyway. Oh, she dealing with some spirits. Omni, you'll see me on the news. Okay, listen. So here's the thing. This is what I'm thinking. When she said, I wish I could bring this video up. When her ass said, she's bringing angels from Africa, even in from Africa. I thought to myself, why would an angel from Africa come up here to help your ass? Why would an angel from Africa come to do that? If an angel from Africa was coming to meet you, it wouldn't be for good. And here's the other thing. This is why I called her Karen on the thing. This is what I thought. I wish I could bring up this video. I thought, now this is the quintessential Karen. Her ass is going to make the angels from Africa and South America somebody that you ain't never gave a fuck about. But now your ass going to bring in the African angels and the South American angels to come in and put Donald Trump in the White House, who don't give a fuck about the Africans or the South Americans. How much more privileged can you be? Now that's the ultimate example of a Karen to me. How much more privileged could you be? That now you're going to go to the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm and make things work just like you want them to work. Listen, if the angels come from Africa, they're going to be coming on my behalf, not yours. You feel me? If they decide to come this way, they're coming on my behalf, not the behalf of Paula White's ass, and definitely not Trump to chump. Are you kidding me? She is the quintessential Karen. You don't get more Karen than that. Amy said she's dealing with some spirits. Okay, Amy said, and then Wakanda showed up at the polls. Boom. Exactly. Wakanda showed up at the polls, and you're right about that. So here's my question, though. Speaking of that, So are we, okay, wait, before I do that, because that's going to take me a whole nother direction. Let me read this to you. This is from, that one was from USA Today. This one is from Mother Jones, which I thought was funny. So I want to read this one to y'all. How much can I read though? Let me see, there's quite a bit. So let me see what I can read. Okay, it says, how do you get from, listen, this is from motherjones.com. Tracy said they may have been praying to Satan and dropping racial undertones at the same time. Now, you're right about that. You're right about that, Tracy, because it's very clear. It's becoming very clear also that there's a lot of demonic stuff that's been going on inside of the four walls of churches, and passed off as something that was holy, that was absolutely opposite of that. I don't know how much y'all been hearing about that, but it's out there. It's out there, and the shit is coming to a head. Okay, this is motherjones.com. How do you get from a trailer park to a White House job? Give money to Trump's spiritual advisor. That's the title, right? Paula White urges her followers to pay her instead of their bills. On a Friday morning on February, televangelist Paula White Kane spent more than 2 hours preaching at the King Jesus Church Supernatural Ministry School in Miami. Here we go again with them long ass. They believe that the longer the title is, the more you're going to believe they saved. That's what I think. The longer the title is, the more you're going to believe that they are holy. Let me read that to you again. She spent 2 hours preaching at the King Jesus Church Supernatural Ministry School in Miami, with top billing on the event website as Donald Trump's spiritual advisor. White stood in front of a stage with a light show befitting a Pink Floyd cover band, with a sanctuary that holds 7,000 people. One of the nation's largest Latina churches was packed with apostles and prophets who'd come to be activated in God's supernatural power and learn to expand their ministry. They call me trailer trash, White said. As an interpreter in a blue-black suit jacket translated her words into Spanish, she said, but our God's in the recycling business. Our God's in the recycling business. With her husband, the keyboardist for Journey, providing a stirring backtrack, White testified about her own rags to riches tale, starting with her humble roots in Tupelo, Mississippi, her father's suicide, her out-of-wedlock teen pregnancy, her years working her way up from janitorial to Sunday school teacher at a Maryland church. God kept opening doors until eventually 19 years ago, I get a phone call out of the blue from this man named Donald Trump, she said. Recalling the day in 2002 when the twice divorced New York real estate mogul reached out to her after catching her show on a local Florida TV station. He said, "You're fantastic," he said. "You have the it factor." I said, "Sir, we call that the anointing." White said the Lord told her to help Trump know God. I took on that assignment, never knowing that one day that man that God told me to show him who he was, would become the president of the United States of America, she told the crowd, which cheered with enthusiasm. God kept opening doors until eventually 19 years ago. Okay, she got herself, okay. As one of the only women in the male-dominated, listen to this, y'all. I was looking at some pictures earlier and I thought, her ass is the only woman in there with all the men. Probably being passed around. I don't know that to be true. I'm just speculating. As one of the only women in the male-dominated world of TV preachers, White long ago reached evangelical celebrity status, publishing nearly a dozen books. Let me go back. I'm going to read that one little thing again. So I'm going to make a point right here. As one of the only women in the male-dominated world of TV preachers, White long ago reached evangelical celebrity status, publishing nearly a dozen books, launching a successful TV show, and ministering to everyone from the late Michael Jackson to the New York Yankees. But she has now accomplished something no other televangelist has ever achieved, a job in the White House. Since the end of October, she has served as the advisor to the White House Faith and Opportunity Initiative, which Trump created through an executive order in 2018 as part of the White House Office of Public Liaison. As such, Her official duties entail consulting with the faith community on such social issues as poverty and crime prevention and making recommendations to the White House Domestic Policy Council. So let me tell you what I thought about when I was reading those two little sentences. As one of the only women in the male-dominated world of TV preachers, White long ago reached evangelical celebrity status, blah, 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 blah. Typically, when somebody go flying up the rank like this, when they're in entertainment, because that's really what this is, right? Because when you talk about these televangelists and you talk about this, it's all show business, right? Typically, when somebody climbs up the rank faster than anybody else, we find out later, after the fact, that they were involved in all kind of scandal, and usually sexual scandal, usually. And there may be some money scandals involved, but usually they're sexual scandals, right? Grotesque sexual scandals. And we find out that because they played, they got paid. Isn't that correct? I mean, that's in my experience. That's what I've experienced. That's what I know of. When they go flying to the top, leaving everybody else behind, you like, how did that happen? A lot of times it happened because they did what they needed to do to get where they needed to go. So when I see people like Paula White, and you wonder, why would somebody, if they were truly godly, be this wrapped up in somebody who clearly don't, who his definition, I mean, when he talks about women, he talks about grabbing them in the pussy, right? He has no respect. He's a misogynist. That's clear. That's very clear, right? He doesn't have a lot of respect for anybody. But when we talk about women, I'm saying to you, when he talk about women, that's the kind of stuff that he says. And she in a room, in the pictures I saw, she was in a room with all these men, it's her and all these men. And I thought, wow, I wonder how you can be so comfortable in there. And then I thought about this. I thought, right, Amy, right. She said, is John Gray on this topic? No, but he will be next week. I started to do him, but it's going to take me more time to do him. His ass. Adventure. What's her name? Adventure? Somebody calls her the Avenger because she always avenging his sins. Somebody call her the Avenger. Aventer. That's her name. Aventer. Need to put his ass. Maybe not. We'll wait for later for that. But when I see Paula White in her all cozied up and what have you with this guy right here, ain't no question in my mind about what she doing to stay where she at. I'm just saying, look at where his hands at. Look where his hands at. That's how you hug your woman or your wife, right? Ain't they chummy? Yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit right there. So that's my thought on that. Let me know what y'all think on it. Let me know what you think about it. But first of all, Paula White is too fucking racist to be calling on any but it lets you know any kind of angels from any other nation, really, she's too fucking racist for that. But the other piece is the fact that she feels, that lets you know how disconnected that she is. The fact that she feels like she could even let something like that come out of her mouth will let you know how disconnected she is and how much of a Karen she is, how privileged she is. She's so privileged that she can call over the ancestors to work on her behalf. The descendant of slaves. The descendant of slave owners. You feel what I'm saying? Tupelo, Mississippi. The descendant of slave owners. You so privileged that your ass can call over the ancestors from Africa to help to come and war on your behalf. She is a fucking idiot. She is an idiot. She's an absolute idiot. Okay, let me know what y'all think about that. That's my spiel on Paula Jones' ass. She's an idiot. And not only is she an idiot, those who follow her, who would stay under her, I wish y'all, listen, do me a favor. When y'all get through, maybe I can do this. I already have the link. Wait a minute. I might be able to get the link real fast. Hold on. Let me see. If I can get this link, I'm going to put it in the chat because I want y'all to see this video when y'all get off here that shows her. And it's almost like a little it's like a little collection of stuff that she's been involved in, things in terms of her with Trump. And some of the stuff that come out of her mouth is unbelievable. You figure, how in the world is she serious? But of course she is. She getting paid and probably getting laid. So, and splayed. Okay, let me see. All right, I can't pull it up now without cutting y'all off. But I will put it in the link once this video, when I close down. I'll put the video because it's a great snapshot, and it's about 7 minutes. But it's a great snapshot of what she really believes, right? What her beliefs are, and when it comes to Trump, why she's so involved with him, what her true beliefs are. And in order to have them beliefs, you can't care nothing about your black parishioners. I'm just saying that. You can't care nothing about the black community if you that tied up the way she's tied up. And she said in one clip, she said, and she used a scripture to back it up, but her point was, she said, saying no, this is what she said. She said, saying no to Trump would be like saying no to God. Or either saying no to Trump is saying no to God. One or two, she said, and I'm just not going to do that. I thought, oh, she's a goner. She's a goner. And what's sad is that anybody under her leadership is going to be a goner, because she got a very strong spirit. She's very strong. Very, she ain't no meek soul. It's very strong spirit. So she's leading people somewhere. She lead them somewhere. And lots of people. You feel me? And lots of people. So let me know what you think about that. What are your last and final thoughts on Paula White, who ain't quite right? Let me know what you got on Paula White, who ain't quite right. Let me know. And while you were doing that, for your last thoughts in the chat, we'll go ahead and this is our wrap up. We're going to wrap it up is what we're going to do. We're wrapping it up. So whatever your thoughts are, please put them in the chat. Make sure that you share the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming in, hanging out. I'm so happy that you're here tonight. I really am. We are wrapping up our topics. Our first topic. Any thought that you have on the topics as I call them off, go ahead and write a little something in the chat. But the first topic, of course, was Dave Chappelle. What did you get out of? What is your takeaway? What is your takeaway from that Dave Chappelle SNL monologue? Let me know. The second thing we talked about was COVID-19, and that is the possibility of mandatory vaccines. What is your What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts on mandatory vaccines, COVID-19 vaccines? Let me know. Please put that in the chat. What are your final thoughts on the COVID-19 mandatory vaccine, if we go that route? And I'm pretty sure that we will. What are your final thoughts on that? And then finally, what do you think about Paula White's ass, the quintessential Karen? What do you think about the quintessential Karen? Let us know. What do you think about the quintessential Karen? That is our wrap up. And our wrap up was, of course, it was sponsored by Brown Sugar Babies. We are the purveyors of our all-natural Brown Sugar Baby Shea Souffle, artisan jewelry and accessories, and Afrocentric trinkets and gifts. You can get what you need if you're looking for any of these items on our website at www.brownsugarbabies.com. That's www.brownsugarbabies.com. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and again, please put your final thoughts in the chat. Even a final thought about the show today. What did you think about the show today? Let me know. What did you think about the platform today? We try to do a little bit of upgrade from what we did last week, so hopefully you can see the changes. I know that we had an issue with. I found out something today I didn't know, and that is I cannot play a clip that long from YouTube through this program, so I won't do that again. But let us know. Give me some any kind of any thoughts about improvement. Let me know. Any suggestions? Let me know. I would appreciate it. I really would. Thanks for hanging out with 3T. Now you can help us build this platform. by simply taking a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you again. Have a great night, a wonderful week. Love you to life. Wish you plenty of blessings and much love. Let's do it again next week. Same place, same time.